What's going on, guys? John here checking in for the United View, the match report of the Manchester United versus Crystal Palace game held at Old Trafford in the Carabao Cup as Manchester United take a convincing, dominating, whatever the word is, a fantastic 3-0 victory. It was probably the most dominating performance from Manchester United that we've seen under Erik ten Hag this season. And lots of opposition fans were in my chat. They were like, oh, John, you're getting too ahead of yourself. You're going too crazy. You're overreacting, whatever. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I should temper my expectations because it was against the B-tiered Crystal Palace side. Lots of changes. We saw Eze, one of our top performers, coming on in the second half. Yeah, you're right. But why can't we be a little bit excited? Oh my, I'm getting rushed by my mic here. Why can't we be excited? Why can't we be happy? It was one of the best performances that we've seen in a very long time. And I couldn't be any more happier for Erik ten Hag. And I couldn't be any more happier for us Manchester United fans because finally, we're seeing what we can do. Glimpses of Erik ten Hag's full setup. And you know why that's the case? It's because we're having injured players return. Two players in particular, Sofian Amrabat, who obviously had a couple of minutes in the last game, did a great job, but Mason Mount, oh my goodness, played out the park today. It was on an absolute madness, playing in that number 10 role with Bruno Fernandes being rested. I love to see players rested because when a team is healthy, these are the games where you bring in your youth players. You bring in your Garnacho, your Pellistri, your Hannibal Mejbri. You bring in your squad players like your Donny van de Beeks, like your Mason Mount, like your Amrabat. These kinds of players are supposed to be playing in these kinds of games when your team is doing well. Manchester United might not be doing phenomenally, but Erik ten Hag trusted his squad players to get the job done, and they proved to be loyal and they proved to be quality on the day because they were phenomenal. Let's talk a little bit about reviewing individual performances. The back four, obviously Harry Maguire, Rafael Varane at the center back partnership. Rafael Varane, need I say more? Phenomenal. Harry Maguire in particular. What I saw from Harry Maguire today was a performance, it wasn't a magnanimous, fantabulous performance, but it was a performance that sparked his confidence. And that's what I love to see from Harry Maguire. Yes, Manchester United fans and their sort of love for Harry Maguire might have already floated away. But at the end of the day, if he's still here playing for Manchester United with the Manchester United badge on his chest, the last thing you want to do is put pressure on him. You want to back your players regardless of what's going on. And I want to see Harry Maguire do well. And today he did a great job. He put in a proper, neat shift on a fantastic performance from him. In terms of building confidence, that's what you want from Harry Maguire. And I was happy to see him play. Diogo Dalot, my man needs rest, man. He's been playing a lot, but put in another good shift as well. Left back was Sofian Amrabat. I actually said it in my live stream. I was like, guys, Sofian Amrabat, I think he's going to play at left back. And surely he did. It wasn't a genius guess because Sergio Reguilon obviously was sick, according to Erik ten Hag, but he managed to get in and play for us last week. Great shift in providing that loyalty and that, that heart and the desire from Sergio Reguilon. But these are the games where you want to rest him. And I think Erik ten Hag made the right choice. And my goodness, did he make the right choice, because Sofian Amrabat put in an absolute wonderful shift at left back. And he has this role where he's not really covering the natural flank areas of the left back. At least defensively, he covers that area in that left-hand space, that left back space. But going forward, you see him playing that role that we saw Diogo Dalot do when he was playing in that inverted left back role. Rather than being the overlapping runner constantly for Alejandro Garnacho on that left wing, he's been just tucking in centrally, just covering that center, that midfield area alongside Casemiro, and allowing even at times for Casemiro to advance a little bit higher up, Hannibal Mejbri to advance a little higher up. And that's what we saw today in that first half from Sofian Amrabat. And then eventually Victor Lindelof came on. He came on to play in that left back role, and Sofian Amrabat moved up and advanced into his natural midfield space. And I'm so happy, so happy to see these players put in a shift, because you have to be out of your mind to think that Erik ten Hag is at fault for some of these results, because look at the squad he has. He had to play Sofian Amrabat and Victor Lindelof at left back. We had to sign a emergency left back in Sergio Reguilon on loan. The injuries have absolutely plagued us, and I promised you that things were going to get better, and today could be potentially the start of it. Fingers crossed, but I am very, very hopeful, and I'm positive. Moving on, talking a little bit more about Sofian Amrabat. He was phenomenal today. That's what you want to see. A destroyer in midfield, showing the industry, the robustness. That balance with Sofian Amrabat and Casemiro is the balance that we've been crying for. I've been screaming from the rooftops. Please, Please, Sofian Amrabat, get healthy quickly. And you saw that balance. Him and Casemiro. Casemiro was my man of the match today. I'm going to be completely honest with you. That man played out the park. Where the hell was this Casemiro? I know it's my question, and I'm about to answer my own damn question. But he played phenomenally because he was able to rely on the balance, the industry of Hannibal Mejbri and Sofian Amrabat next to him. Moving on to Hannibal Mejbri, another wonderful performance. I was a little bit concerned for him in the second half because you can clearly tell he was getting a little bit dicey with his challenges, especially when he was already on a yellow card. And when he actually got substituted off, I love to see it because you can clearly tell Erik ten Hag was like, yo, you doing something crazy. And Hannibal Mejbri was like, That's the love and camaraderie and the respect and the relationship you want to see between a young player and his manager. But going back to the game, Hannibal Mejbri had another phenomenal game. Like I said, I'm just repeating the same thing over and over again, but the midfield balance looks so great with those three. And Bruno Fernandes could be the same. Bruno Fernandes could come on and do the same job that Hannibal's doing right now in that sense, where you have Casemiro, Sofian Amrabat, and Bruno Fernandes to provide that balance. And to complete that balance, I think we can play Mason Mount on the right wing, because today Mason Mount played as a number 10, deputizing for Bruno Fernandes to be the orchestrator, and he was bloody phenomenal. He was absolutely flipping brilliant today. In that bit part role, he obviously got pulled off in the first half. Hopefully, fingers crossed, is not an injury. But I'm assuming it might be because Erik ten Hag wants to make sure that we're not rushing him back and forcing him to play unnecessary minutes. I thought Mason Mount was brilliant, and you can clearly see what Mason Mount was brought on to do. Yeah, he can be. We're a little bit ambiguous on where he plays in terms of, is it part of the front three or is he in the midfield? But when he does play, and when he looks confident, when he's good on the ball, when he's calm on the ball, he can connect like there's nobody. He can connect like there's no tomorrow. He's so good. He's so good. And I promise you, once we keep allowing Erik ten Hag to get his full squad and to be able to, continue to do a little more chemistry and do a little more tinkering, I guarantee you we're far from seeing the best of Mason Mount. And what we saw today was already brilliant. And I'm so happy for Mason Mount because he got some valuable minutes. Up front, Anthony Martial getting the goal. You guys know how I feel about Anthony Martial, but he got his goal. It was a decent performance, nothing overwhelming or out of the park, but he got his goal. Alejandro Garnacho and Facundo Pellistri, both young players. These are the games where you want to see them play, and they were phenomenal. Phenomenal. And I think I used the word phenomenal about 45 times today, but it's appropriate. Every single player put in an absolute shift. I really was contemplating, who do I pick for man of the match? It was either Casemiro, it was either Alejandro Garnacho, or even Mason Mount and Hannibal Mejbri. So many names in that mix, but everybody was phenomenal. Alejandro Garnacho coming on, providing the raw unpredictability. Facundo Pellistri just keeping things efficient. That's what you want to see from your young players. And today, I couldn't be any more happier. I know he was against the B-tiered Crystal Palace side in the Carabao Cup, but these are the opportunities for you to build up momentum, build up rhythm. And Erik ten Hag, with more players returning from injury, things could be on the come up. And I am very carefully but positively optimistic, carefully optimistic about this resurgence from Manchester United, or even rebirth, if you will. Like I said before, my man of the match is Casemiro. But what did you guys think? What did you guys think of the performance? Were you happy? Were you sad? Well, you guys get in the comments and let me know. And please subscribe to the channel if you guys not have yet done so. United View is an absolutely fantastic place for all of your Manchester United content. And if you enjoy hearing me waffle on about Manchester United, consider coming checking me out on my channel at Good Vibes Sean. That's it for me for today. Thank you so much, and I'll see y'all later.